Good morning, everybody. So today is Thursday, April 15th, and we are on lesson 24 today of Unit 5 in Phonics. Go ahead and get started. I hope everybody had a great day off yesterday. I feel much better. Okay, so we are on lesson 24. And we do not have any of the manipulating phonemes or the mix-it-ups this time. We're just going to jump straight into our lesson. So our learning targets for today are: I can review the subject and predicate. I can sort sounds with the tricky spelling O consonant E. And we can read the story Revenge. I mean, we can't partner read because we're not together, but if you have someone at home that you can partner read with, you could do that. All right, so what are the names of the two parts that we need to make a sentence? Do you guys remember what those are? A sentence must have a subject and a predicate to make a complete sentence. So the two things that a sentence needs are a subject and a predicate. So which part of speech is usually used as the subject of the sentence? Is it the noun or the verb that is the subject? It's a noun is usually the subject of the sentence. That's the part that tells who or what is doing the action. So then which part of speech is usually used as the predicate of the sentence? If we use the noun as the subject, what's going to be the predicate? It's going to be the verb. A verb is usually the predicate of the sentence. So we're going to look at some sentences. We can't do all this part because we're not together. Okay, so I'm actually going to stop sharing. We can't do it with the game part because we're not together, unfortunately. But we are going to go over the sentences just like we did last time. Okay, so our first sentence. The athletic dog jumped through the hoop. What do you think the subject of this sentence is? Who or what is doing the action? It's talking about the athletic dog. So the complete subject is the athletic dog. What did the athletic dog do? What will the complete predicate be? He jumped through the hoop. So the subject is the athletic dog and the predicate is jumped through the hoop. James and Jack swam in the big lake. What's the subject, or who is the subject? James and Jack. Now remember, this is a compound predicate because it has two subjects, James and Jack. What did James and Jack do? What is the predicate phrase? They swam in the lake. Now, swam is the verb, but swam in the big lake is the predicate. Sarah and Charlie walked to the playground. What is the subject of the sentence? Sarah and Charlie. And again, this is a compound subject because there's two of them. What is the predicate phrase of this sentence? They walked to the playground. What's the verb in that predicate? Walked. Very good. My nice friend gave me a good book. What's the subject of this sentence? My nice friend is the subject. Good. What is the predicate? Gave me a good book is the predicate. But what's the actual verb of the sentence? Gave. Good. The brown squirrel jumped from the branch. What's the subject? It's the brown squirrel. What's the noun of that phrase, the brown squirrel? It's the word squirrel. Brown is an adjective because it's describing the squirrel. And the word the is a special little part of speech called an article. You guys haven't learned about that yet? But squirrel is the noun. Now, what is the predicate of this sentence? Jumped from the branch. Good. And what is the verb of that predicate? Jumped. Very good. All right, last one. The little boy cried when he fell. What's the subject of the sentence? The little boy. Good. Now, what is the noun in that subject? It's the word boy. The word little is an adjective describing the boy. And again, the is an article. So, what is the predicate in the sentence? Cried when he fell. And what is the verb of that predicate? It's cried. Very good, guys. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, so remember that the focus of Unit 5 has been on vowel sounds and the spellings of those vowel sounds. And this is a spelling for O and sounds. So remember, we've already know both of these. We've already learned them. So let's review a few of these words together. So we have the word love, some, home, come, and stone. So the love, some, and come all make the sound, and home and stone make the O sound. So remember that when a spelling can be pronounced more than one way, we call it a tricky spelling. So when you see an unfamiliar word with the O consonant E spelling, you should try first to pronounce it as O, because that's the most common way to sound the O consonant E spelling. But if that doesn't sound right or it doesn't make sense in the story or the sentence, then try it with the sound. Right, let's look at one of your worksheets for today. All right, so we've done several of these in the past. You're going to sort the words by sound. You're going to write the words that have the O consonant E that sounds like O under the first column, O like home. And you're going to write the words that have the O consonant E that sounds like under the word come in the second column. So here we have the spelling O consonant E that says O like home, those, and wrote. And we have it that says like come, none, and love. And the first one is done for you. You look at the word that is underlined in each sentence. We can leave when we are done. Done. Does it say oh, like home? We are done. Or does it say like come? We are done. It says so we put it over here in the like come column. So I want you to do that. I want you to look at the word that is underlined and make that O say O, and then say the word again and make the O say See which one sounds right. Which column does it belong to? Does it say O or does it say So you have 6 of those to do on your own. Okay, it is time for our new story for today. We have a new story called Revenge. So the word revenge means when someone tries to punish a person who has done something bad to them. Who do you think might be seeking revenge in our story, the Sir Gus reader? Why would they be doing it? So King Alfred is going to be seeking revenge on King Henry because remember, King Henry betrayed King Alfred when he tried to take over his kingdom by letting the wizard cast a spell and putting King Alfred in the dungeon. So today's story is about King Alfred and revenge. But before we start, let's review our spelling. So we have the letter O that makes the sound in bottom, front, month, and reason. We have the a schwa sound in agreed, assist, and important. And then we have the ge spelling for the j sound in revenge and large. Our vocabulary for today, we have a couple of words. The first phrase is strike back. Strike back. Hold on one second. I gotta find something. Okay, that was perfect timing. As soon as I paused the video, my phone rang, and it was Caitlin's doctor. She does not have COVID. Yay! So we can go back to school tomorrow. Okay, anyway, so the words strike back mean to seek revenge. The word treason is the act of trying to take over or to betray your own kingdom or government. Eagerly means that you do something very excitedly. And then we have 2 more that are not on here. We have the term serve you, which you usually use with royalty whenever something is asked of you. Like you say, oh, it's my pleasure to serve you. And then assist means to help. So we are going to read the story Revenge and then complete worksheet 24.2. All right, we are in our story reader, Sir Gus, and today we're going to read the story Revenge, which is chapter 15, and it begins on page 118. Revenge. For a while, King Alfred was very sad. King Henry, his friend, had betrayed him. How could he? Then King Alfred got mad. King Henry, his friend, had betrayed him. How dare he? When you are a king, you must show your enemies how brave and strong you are. Kings don't do this themselves, as that would be dangerous. They send an army to do it for them, and that is just what King Alfred decided to do. Late in the afternoon, 1 month after Albert the Wizard had cast his evil spell, King Alfred held a meeting with his knights. This time, all 12 of them arrived on time. Sit down, said the king. I have something important to tell you. We are here to serve you, said Sir Tom. As one by one the knights sat down at a long table. "I know I have told you how much your bravery means to me," said the king. "I think you are the most excellent knights my kingdom has ever seen, or indeed may ever see." "Thank you, your majesty," said Sir Ed. "We rejoice to serve you," said Sir Tom. "I have decided," explained the king, "that our kingdom must fight King Henry's kingdom. We must strike back. We must punish him for his treason and evil deeds." "If I may say so," said Sir Ed, "that is an excellent idea." "Indeed," said Sir Tom, "we should show him who's boss around here." "Just what I was thinking," replied the king, "and that is why I have decided to send an army to fight against King Henry's army. I won't lead the army myself, you know." "No, indeed not," agreed Sir Tom. "That would be silly." "Yes, very silly indeed," said the king with a smile. "No, our most respected knight, the leader among leaders, the fighter among fighters, will lead the army. My other brave knights will assist him." 11 of the 12 knights looked at each other eagerly. Each of them was hoping that the king was going to pick him to lead the army. As the king was about to say which knight he had picked, Sir Gus fell off his chair. The reason for his fall is easy to explain. That afternoon, after eating a large lunch, Sir Gus went to sit in the king's rose garden. It was there that he was stung by a bee. The bee had stung him on the bottom, and he was finding it very difficult to sit down. In the end, the pain was too much for him. He fell off his chair and landed in front of the king. Oh, that's Sir Gus. Okay, let's look at worksheet 24.2 to see what we need to do today. All right, so it's a pretty quick little page. You're going to write a summary of the story of revenge. Okay, just read this one right here. Remember, you're going to summarize it, which means you just write, in a couple of sentences, you just tell me what happened in the story from the beginning to the end of that story, okay? Make sure that you use character names and events in the story. And remember, it doesn't have to be like a lot. It could just be like 3 or 4 sentences, okay? And then the next part says, match the characters to the action. So on the left side, you have the characters, King Alfred, King Henry, Sir Gus, and 11 knights. And you are going to match it to the actions. And each action has a letter in front of it. You're going to put the letter in front of the character that did that action. We have A, betrayed King Alfred. B, fell off his chair. C, hoped to lead the king's army. And D, sent an army to fight King Henry's army. And then on the bottom, it says bonus, draw a rectangle around the column that includes predicates and draw a circle around the column that includes subjects. Okay, so that is your work for today. So you have those 2 worksheets to work on, 24.1 and 24.2. Remember, tomorrow we have our version of the spelling test. And we have one more to do today. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing that 24.1 is, just a little different. Okay, so for worksheet 24.3, you are going to sort your words. You're going to read the words that are in the box first. Then you're going to write the word that has the tricky spelling O under hope. And then you're going to write the one that says under done. So we have the words roll, glove, lovely, welcome, vote, rope, notebook, none, bone, shove, choke, and stole. So the example is they use the first word, roll. It says O like in hope. So they put it in this first column under O as in hope. The next word is the word glove. Does it say O? Does it say glove or glove? It says so we're going to put it in the second column. All right, so that's what you're going to do with the rest of the words in the box. You're going to read them and decide, does it say O or Okay, so that is how you're going to do worksheet 24.3. And again, it's very similar to 24.1. Okay. All righty. So our learning targets for today were I can review the subject and predicate. I can sort sounds with the tricky spelling O consonant E, and I can read the story Revenge. All right, so remember that you have those three worksheets to work on today, 24.1 and 24.3, which are the sorts for the O spelling. And then you have 24.2, which is a review of the story Revenge. So you will have the story Revenge available for you to listen or read again before you answer those questions. And today's lesson, super short. Remember, we have a spelling test tomorrow. So get prepared for that. Don't forget, guys, to make sure that you're doing your Amplify 60 minutes a week and that you're getting on Epic 20 minutes a day. And before we go, let's look at our word of the day. Spin. All right, our word of the day is bow or bow, whichever one you say. If you want to say bow, like I have a bow in my hair, or I bow before the king. Spelled the same way, just say it differently. All right, so that's all that I've got for today. I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and I will see you later. Bye.